Oh, 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 oh. Uh, uh, uh. I'm out of town, thugging with my round.
Hey everyone, welcome back to season two of Two Ways to Say It podcast. I am Estelle.
And this your boy K to the C.
Okay, y'all. So tonight we're gonna be talking about
Things, and I'm just gonna turn it over to Mr. KC. Okay.
And then me. Okay, so we always try to talk about something that we kind of had a little conversation about, and we'd be like, let's hold it. Let's just wait till we get on the podcast. So let me just start it out. I'm gonna just
Mhm.
before we even really introduce the topic, I'm gonna just jump right into it. Let me ask you: would you date somebody who has kids?
Oh, would I date somebody who has children? Oh, let me answer it like this.
Mhm.
Okay. Do I want to date someone with kids? No, because I don't have any children.
Mhm.
Would I date somebody with kids? Yes. And I take it back because S is plural. I prefer kids, but one is okay. Two is pushing it. And it depends on the age because I like my man a little older.
Mhm. That we know.
And them kids need to be grown and out the
Okay.
house. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking about? Like all that, yeah.
Anyway.
So like age and stuff play an important factor in that as well. But to answer your question, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
What about you?
Okay. Um, I try to be like open to whatever. I do. Okay. I think I am a little too nice sometimes where I literally try to get everything consideration. I be like, well, you know how I be. I be like, well, life was this happened, so I can't judge you for this, and I take it on all that type of stuff. But in reality, I don't think I could
hmm
truly be like just that's like happy. Like I don't know, like especially in the beginning. I'm gonna be honest. So it's like because it's a lot to take on, like you say, and it's because I do not have children yet. So I
hmm
feel like if you have children, it's a little easier. Because first you are like naturally going through that process of like raising children. You already kind of know what to expect. But when it's not your child, especially when they got a little age on them,
Yeah.
that's a little different. And I think there's a lot of things that go into it. So I think with me, if I'm thinking about dates with children, um, first I'm thinking like if that child, what if that child don't like me? What if that child bad?
hmm
What if that's let me I'm gonna keep talking about the child first. Yeah, like what if that child bad? What
okay.
am I gonna have to do? Like am I gonna have to be a stepdaddy? Am I gonna come in and it's just like it's a not necessarily a baggage thing, but it's just something like you can't really get rid of the parenthood of it. So you can't
hmm
ignore it. Put it like that. So
Right.
even if you with somebody with a child, and especially if they are a good parent, they're gonna be a parent before anything. So it's kind of like you taking on their parenthood on top of a potential relationship or whatever. Now, me, of course, being the male, or just anybody, not even just the male. People, when they get with people and they have children with them, a lot of people do not stop messing with the people they have children with. So that's kind of that like risk and drama that comes with it. Now, some people
yeah.
good at it, some people have children and they don't have to be mad at nothing. They can literally, they know when their stopping point is. They don't have them strings and stuff attached to it. Some people literally have children, have children with people. Sometimes they have children with people for certain motives and stuff too. So
Yeah.
mind you, they ain't just having children just to have them. They doing it because there's probably somebody they really want, so they gonna definitely have a child with them. So stuff like that, that mean that it really ain't about the child, it's about their relationship. So that means once they had a child and when other people come into life, that mean their relationship still existing. Like that's not leaving nowhere. They still got love for each other. They still gonna have to see each other. When they see each other, something gonna be sparked. That's how I think. Like every time they see each other, like you can't you thinking like when they have this little meet up or whatever, they still thinking like they still kind of like each other. Like you can't.
Yeah,
It's just
and
too much.
I think that that's fair to say because in reality, I don't think least most people can't say that they don't think about that. Like
Yeah.
if I'm dating a guy and he has to drop off his son to the mother of his children or
Yeah.
child, then naturally I'm like, okay, did they kiss? Is he looking at her butt? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Like, because I feel like anyway, I think they naturally have this connection to
Yeah.
like they're naturally connected after they have children, like
Yep.
even for the rest of their lives. Now, am I saying it's like a sexual connection or all that? No, I just think it's just that natural energy, vibey
Yeah.
connection that you connect with your partner, once you
Yep.
guys have children. That child connects both of you. And I think that is the scary part of it too. Because I have dated a guy before or guys with children, and I connect with the children as well. And
Yeah.
it has been a situation where I actually knew the child before I knew her dad. And
Mhm.
we connected. And sometimes when you watch these children grow up, it's kind of hard to separate yourself from that person too, because it's like, not that I helped you raise them because
Mhm.
technically I did it, but they were a part of our lives.
Right.
So I think the kids definitely connect us more than,
Mhm.
it just being us two. So to me that was a hard part there. Even now, just seeing pictures of, I won't say who, but seeing him now, he's like 15, 16 now, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, oh my God, like I met you when you were 7. Like
Yeah.
it is so crazy, but it was fun though. I can't lie, it is fun parts about it.
Mhm.
The scary another scary part too is when sometimes when you're dating.
So yeah, and I think I think that type of stuff steers people away from dating people with children. So now I'm not saying that can trump it all, like, right? Like, it can still be good stuff, like you say, like you can, see a child grow up. It ain't like it's the worst thing in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't necessarily like you can see a child grow up and necessarily not have obligation to take care of that child, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like you in a,
Yeah.
being in that child's life, seeing all the things that a parent sees. And especially, and I think that draws you closer to the person you dating. So seeing them be a
Mm-hmm.
parent too, that's,
Yes.
that's attractive, so it is positive things to it. And I think the drama and stuff kind of scares people away from it. So like when you say, like for example, I said the baby mom, baby daddy thing. So if you think about something else, like how do I say, when people hear people say they have children, it seems like people think negative. I don't think people say, but
Mm-hmm.
like when you dating somebody, I think that's like that. How do you say, like, you on a blind date or something? What's that? That may be a turn off. I'm gonna say the turn off. Like, you tell them
Uh-huh.
that you let, a lot of people don't reveal that. That's the reason a lot of people don't reveal it first. They wait.
Mm-hmm.
You find that out later because it's kind of looked at negatively. Which, should it be or shouldn't it be? I don't know. But I think that's the problem with it. I think in society, having a, like, being single, having a child, you are kind of dismissed out of the dating scene because they look at it like it's a negative thing that you have a child or something, no matter what the situation
Mm-hmm.
is. So
And
yeah.
it's funny because I feel like, I always talk about this a lot. Like, I feel like in my age, and this is just my opinion, growing up and dating, I always felt like women who already had children had a better shot at dating and getting
Mm-hmm.
men than women who didn't. Only because I told you I tend to see a lot of men, which is fair. Like you want this feeling needed, right? This sense of
Mm-hmm.
feeling needed. And I think sometimes women with children may need you more in a sense where, helping with the kids, or the kids may need this, which is fair, versus me who don't have any children, and I just need you
Mm-hmm.
to just be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling like, hey, can you pick up snacks? Can you do this? And not saying this is what
Yep.
they're doing, but this is an example. But
Yeah.
I always felt like women with children always just kind of had a better shot with getting
Mm-hmm.
men or dating in a dating scene. So that's just my opinion. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think, cause
And you know what? Now that I think about it, or especially how it's depicted in shows and stuff. If you notice, a lot of those men where they are the attractive man or whatever, and when they have like a child or something, I ain't gonna say a lot of girls turn them down because of it. They kind of viewed it as like, yeah, it makes them more attractive, I think.
It
I think
does.
because they
Yeah.
feel like they already have. I think it shows the adult in them. I think, in a
Mm-hmm.
sense, it shows that they have something to live for. They have something to kind of work for. They're
Mm-hmm.
taking care of something, and that shows stability in itself. I think, even if you're
Yes.
not showing you have the biggest, like you got everything together, just the point of you have this child and you're taking care of them, that's enough to be like, well, at least
Mm-hmm.
you could do that. So I think, to be honest, having a child for a man, it ain't the worst thing. I don't think,
It's
especially when it comes to
not.
dating. Yeah.
I think it, and that's what I was gonna say. I feel like men actually do have a better side when they have children. Like I feel like it's even though I think it's been situations where men tend to hide that they have kids, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, if anything, I think a woman doesn't look at that as a negative for a man. Now, men, I don't know. I think
Mm-hmm.
it may depend on how many you have, but then at the same time, I done see people.
Yeah.
I ain't saying people with 8 and 9 kids can't be loved or shouldn't
Yeah.
be. But
Mm-hmm.
I done seen dudes still, talk to women with multiple children. So, and nothing wrong with it. So I don't know. I think it depends on how many children
Mm-hmm.
the dad has or whatever. I'm sorry, the guy that I'm dating has. But if they just have one, it is kind of attractive to see them act as a father.
Mm-hmm.
Be there, hey, I gotta pick up my son. But then once it starts shifting, like
Yeah.
not being able to balance the dating life and
Mm-hmm.
having a child, that's when it starts to clash there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I
Yeah.
don't see it like as a big negative for men as it is for women.
Right. Okay. Well, since we kind of, well, let's just straight up ask it then. So, you feel like people with children should only date people with children?
Ooh, you trying to make these people all mad at me.
It's an
Yeah,
opinion.
I'm gonna be for real. Yeah. Now, throw this out here. Date
Hmm.
whoever you want to. I
Right.
do not care.
Hmm.
I'm gonna date whoever I want to.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in a fantasy world,
Hmm.
I think it would be fair to say people with kids should date people with kids, and
Yeah.
people who are single should date. I mean, people with no children should date people with no children, and that's
Yeah.
just in the fantasy world. So don't come for me.
They do it. So I guess I'll be realistic too. Like, I think that it just makes more sense. I'm gonna put it like, if you're looking
Hmm.
at it like on the level of what we got to bring to the table, and like we, all the things that we hidden and all this type of stuff that we be thinking about. A single person is taking on more than just another single person when they have a child. So you're having to take on more than one thing. So you're having to take on the person, the child, the person they had a child with, everything
Hmm.
that's around it. So I feel like it's kind of not saying it's like one versus three or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like, you're having to take on a lot. But if you was dating a single person, like if a single person dating a single person, you have that fair shot of like, we don't have any, oh, I hate to call children attachment. That sounds so bad. You don't have any like you don't have any like obligations outside of yourself. Let me say
Right.
that. And so now, mind you, I know that people with children probably don't necessarily look at somebody else with children and be like, "Ooh, yeah, that I don't think that make like I don't think that make you turn each other on or nothing." But
Yeah.
realistically, since y'all already had an experience, I think it does make sense for somebody with children to talk to somebody with children.
Hmm.
Now, honestly, of course, because dating is dating, right? So that stuff really, I guess, shouldn't matter, you know. So people gonna date who they want to date, like you said. You're gonna date who you want to date. So you do have some people who, when they hear like that somebody has children, that doesn't bother them. They just
Hmm.
date, and because they dating a person. And in some way, I can understand that. Like when you saying you date somebody and they say they have children and they got X, Y, Z going on. You like that person, so that stuff don't matter. That is so
Right.
nice. But for other people who kind of think further on, when you think further on into how this is going to affect our future and all and everything else, that's who kind of look at it like, okay, this probably won't work. And I
Right.
and I do think a lot of people who like, for if you say like you don't want to date somebody with children, you probably would get a lot of hate and a lot of kind of flack for it, right? Because they
Hmm.
probably look at it like you saying that somebody with children is but like not what do they want? What you want to say? They are. Oh, how do I say what I say so bad?
I don't want to
They
say because if
are.
I say
They're just
it,
not fit for the dating scene. Put it like that, or
mm-hmm.
your dating scene. They would say that. So, and I don't think that's like a bad. I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I said, you don't want to necessarily go into something feel like you're taking on more than that person. That's how I feel like a
Right.
single person feels. But that's just me though. That's just me. And yeah, I don't want to even cause like you said, they be ready to fight. So yeah, that's me. That's just me. Um,
So have you
so
ever dated anyone with children?
no.
Because you're a youngster.
I'm a
So
youngster. Big dog though. Big dog though, underclass. But I am, yeah. So me being younger, I feel like and people still have children my age, but in general, being older, there is more of a possibility for somebody to have a child. Even I ain't to tell my business, but anyway, so the people in my age group, the people in my age group, um, yeah, they nobody had children or anything. Now it's funny after we talked, they have children now. But while we, were talking like, no, they didn't have children. And I'm kind of trying to think if they did say we had children, would I just literally just say no? And I'm gonna be honest, I don't probably think I'd turn. I just don't think I would have been like, we can't talk because of that. I just, even though I'm a single person, I just don't see it like I probably would have just said, no, we can't talk because of that. I probably wouldn't have. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm
mm-hmm.
just very nice. And I'm very considerate of people's life situation. And maybe you couldn't, maybe stuff just happened. I don't know. Well, you know what? A
Yeah.
child don't just happen, but you know what I mean.
I think, with me being, because I'm 33.
Mm.
So I've noticed now, especially with me throwing myself back into the dating scene, take that
Mm.
out. With me
Okay.
being 33, and even just before, I kind of noticed, like, if I tell guys that I don't have any children, the
Mm.
first thing they'll say is like, you don't like kids? I'm like, yes. So to clear the air, you guys, and I love clearing the air. I love
Mm.
children.
Mm.
Do I have the energy for them? I do. Is
Mm.
it some days I don't? I don't. But no, I think I always have energy for children. They're very funny. I love their big imaginations and all
Mm.
that. But it's fair to say I may be better a stepmom than an actual mom.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
hey.
I can, do what I need to do. If
Mm.
the mom needs me to take her to the dentist appointment, we can take her to the dentist appointment, do whatever we need to do. I'm gonna keep them
Yep.
safe.
Yep.
I would treat them like how I want my niece to be treated.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put my hands on them, none of that. I
Mm.
ain't gonna go back and forth with any children, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But just sitting and think about it, I think it's fair to say I'll be a great stepmom to one
Mm.
child.
And that's funny you say that because I was gonna ask. So do you feel like stepmom and stepdads have it hard?
Not in this generation, this season, whatever we in, century,
Mm.
whatever.
Yeah.
I think they getting a lot of praise, and you know me. Don't fight me, y'all.
Mm.
I feel like when you're bringing kids to the table, and let's just say you guys are working towards a marriage and a relationship, let's just say you do
Mm.
get married. I think that's just a part of it. I'm not big on validating certain things that I feel like they just should be natural. If I like
Yeah.
you, I'm not saying I'm just supposed to like your kids, because I guarantee you, it's somebody right now that don't like
Mm.
they stepchildren, but you're just doing it. You know what I'm saying? But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, I feel like if they need you, you're going to be there. But I do see
Mm.
a lot of validation given to stepdads. I haven't seen
Yeah.
stepmoms yet, but
Yeah.
dads and stuff stepping up. And a lot of people may see it differently. I think it's still cool though, because I know a lot of kids that don't have, any positive role models
Mm-hmm.
in their lives, especially their dad. So, I don't see anything wrong with it. But yeah, to answer the question, it's a lot of validation with this stepdad
Okay.
going on.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I think it is easier on social media and stuff than it is behind closed doors. I think they
hmm
make it very like they can do like this small thing with you, like you say, like when you're doing stuff that's like supposed to be natural, that stuff really shouldn't matter. I think when you're a step mom, dad, you are basically doing what you would do with your own child. So it's kind of like you're not
Mm-hmm.
doing nothing like not to downplay what somebody doing. Like it's not like it's some extreme spectacular thing. You're just literally doing what you would do with your own child.
Yeah,
Basically, you just don't have, it's just not biologically yours. I think that's what I say. I think on social media, so they make it easy for them. So, like you say, the
it
validate
does.
thing. So, like, you could do this little small thing, like, yeah, I'm taking this child on. You can just say it, basically, social media, you can do anything and get validation for it, but whatever. But you do these small things and stuff, and that it gains praise, and like people love
Yeah.
that. It make you could be a bad person, but once you become a stepdaddy, you are good. You know what I
And
mean?
it's a
So
lot of the moms that actually are doing it. And it's not the dads like, oh, I'm the best stepdad. I didn't
yeah.
see some, but I think majority of it are the moms who are
Mhm.
praising like the stepdads, and most of them aren't married. So I'm like, it's not still yet. But
Yeah. But yeah.
let me stay on subject. But yeah.
um and now but and I guess that's what I mean, like behind closed doors, I think it's harder because I guess if I'm put it in my shoes, I put myself in whatever shoes. So if I was to take on like, okay, I'm gonna be somebody's stepdad or whatever,
hmm
I think it's almost more pressure than the actual data that's not there. So like you're having to make up for something somebody else didn't do. You're also having
hmm
to push yourself in a situation that you're kind of like not naturally in, even if just say the dad was prison for some time, like that's still he has more of a space than you do. So you're having to, as we say, elbow in and put yourself in them, put yourself in certain spots and positions. You have to basically fight for a spot. And
Yeah.
that's why I think I'm kind of off of the like that having a child thing is it's so much to think about. So I'm having to come in and mind you, I could be good to the child or whatever, but would that child embrace me, especially if the biological dad was there in some instance. So I mean, would that child embrace me? Because I'm gonna have to push and be
hmm
like, I'm not your daddy, but I'm not your daddy, but I'm trying to be, or I'm not your daddy, but I'm trying to get in the spot right on the side of where he was or whatever. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like I think behind closed doors, in reality, I think they have it probably harder than social media tries to make it like they do this little thing and okay, this stepdad. But they don't think they realize how much it takes to actually be like stepdaddy or and we don't hear stepmama a lot, but we can say stepmama
hmm
too. It takes way more than just okay, we're gonna do this. We take pictures somewhere and and it's funny because you think about it, like a lot of people actually get into it a lot. Well, they take a picture with their child, or they take a picture with somebody else's child, and they get flack for it because they like you not this not your child, don't be taking pictures. Like even if they
Yeah.
date somebody, they get a lot of flack for it because it's like this not your child. Why you taking a picture with them? Or like
Yeah.
what you trying to say? You taking care of them too, and that's how them baby mom, baby daddy gets to it. The whole nine. But yeah, so I think they have it harder behind closed doors.
Yeah, and I agree. And just even hearing you kind of like talk about that, I think that's the hard part too of dating someone with children. Like if we're trying to take it to the next level, for me, um, I always just kind of keep that in the back of my head. Like one thing I'm never gonna do is ever think that I'm trying to replace somebody's mom,
Mm-hmm.
because I would never want, God forbid, if my parents got divorced and some woman coming in like I'm your mama,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
trying to overstep boundaries and
Mm-hmm.
all this. So I try to play in my head like, how would I want my stepmom to be? So I'm more
Yeah.
so literally, I am like a friend. Like, look at me as a friend. That's just me. I don't know anybody else, but just for me, like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
respect me, but more so like you need some advice or something like that, then okay, yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
I'm here if you need anything, all that. But I'm never here to purposely try to be better than your mom or
Yeah.
any of this, especially if you have a very active, loving, intentional mother. Like, no.
Yeah.
Now, if she's not around, that's a whole different story. But I haven't dated
Mm-hmm.
anyone where the mom's just not around.
Yeah.
But also that is tough to having to, because I feel like when it comes to taking pictures, let's just say we do want to do a family portrait, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, So let me just ask the mom, is it okay if
Yes.
I be in this picture? So now I
Hmm.
feel like I'm going outside of my family. It's uncomfortable because me, at least I like to say I like to live a private life.
Yeah.
The thought of going outside to, hey, ask like, hey, can I do this? Can I do this?
Hmm.
Can I do this? Makes me feel like she's in control of my life.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. So there's some people can handle that and it's fine. I can handle it, but it's like, do I want to? And it's like, no,
Yeah.
I don't. I don't want to have to go outside of my home to ask somebody, can I do this with their child? Yes, it
Hmm.
is fair. Yes, I will do it, but I just don't want to. It's the wanting
Yeah.
part. So
Yeah.
yeah, I always have to look at all of that. Like, and I want to because I never want to disrespect the mother. And I never
Yeah.
will.
Yep. And especially when you have it where it's not like, ideally we want to say that all the mom and dad is get along, but they don't. So
Mm-hmm.
like, if just say if the mama and the daddy edit with each other or whatever, like they at the moment, the baby mama and I hate saying baby mama, baby daddy, but you know what I'm saying. Father of the child and mother of the child. If they aren't getting along, and all it takes is for you to be in that picture for them to be, go to 10. Now they're mad
Yeah.
for real. And that's the part. That's why I say it's so hard. Like I said, you can do it. You could date and do what you want to do, but it's like it's so many factors to it. It's kind of like you
Yeah.
have to be stuck in this perfect ideal situation. So you got to be, if it's gonna work, you have to be where the biological daddy or mama gonna be okay with you being there.
Mm-hmm.
The children accept you. The
Mm-hmm.
family accept you because they know that you have like their grandchildren and cousins and nephew. All you're a part of their life now. So
Right.
it's like you having to get the approval of so many people and be factored into so many things that you aren't naturally in. I think that's what makes it hard. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's like more of a, that's a lot to think about. Like it's hard to just
It
say, well, yeah,
is.
we together, and you literally had to think about everything that come with, unless you don't care. But for those who do care, um, it's just so much that come along with it. So that's why I think it's really a hard. Do you date or do you not? Like, do you let this deter you from a person you might actually like, or do you just not care? I think it's just, I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah. Just gotta look at all those factors and
yeah,
see, like I said, for me, it's definitely age, the age of the children. If you talk about your baby 1 year old and you want to date, no, because you still messing around with the baby. Oh, sorry,
mm,
mother of the child, stop playing with me. And
yeah,
and it's fair. I know it's some out there that
hmm,
don't, but
yeah. Realistically,
that's a fresh baby. Like
it is.
1 year old, that's fresh. So
Yeah,
no,
yeah, and I
no.
think you literally had to just be realistic. So I know people want to be optimistic and be like, well, even if like they ain't messing with each other no more, it's gonna be good. Okay,
Right.
okay, you okay, okay. Uh, Really, I mean, be optimistic, and you got it. They ain't messing with each other. They ain't messing with each other. That is like, I feel like that's when you literally not being like, you got to be real with yourself sometimes. Like that, like I said, that's more optimistic than real. So like,
Yeah.
being optimistic, you like, okay, well, everything gonna go right. They doing right. They ain't gonna talk. They ain't talking back to their baby mom, baby dad. They ain't got anything going on no more because they broke up, right? Okay, you got it. But realistically, you got to think that these people were dating.
Yeah.
They're still their ex or whatever, or in the middle, ex, whatever, and they still got this one connection that y'all two don't have.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I just say if you're gonna do it, just be realistic.
For
Because
real.
I'm
Like
talking about being optimistic and really have you looking crazy. But you just be realistic.
Amen.
I'm telling you, but yeah, we are here in Pound Town. Okay, but uh all right. So we're gonna answer this question since we kind of already talked about this topic, kind of, answer this little question, this little scenario, and let's see what we think about it. So
Okay.
this girl put in, yeah. My boyfriend already has 2 kids with somebody else and doesn't want any more, but I do in the future since I have none. What do I do?
Run, baby. I'm just playing. Run away.
Oh,
Um,
go ahead. I ain't gonna. I'm gonna
nah,
go
you go
after.
ahead. No,
All right.
please go. Please.
So I think. Oh, and it's hard, especially if she like them. But I do think that you have to date somebody who want the same stuff that you want. If you even if somebody got you, see, I think that's that thing where you try to get into a relationship with somebody, and I can see she kind of doing it where you over compromising, right? Like, because the compromising, I always say, got to be 50-50. So if you want stuff, I got to acknowledge that you want stuff. I can't just knock it out because you know what I'm saying. Like, no, like I don't even want to. This is a good example, I guess. If you want to go out to eat, right? You want to go out to eat, but whoever you dating have been out to eat already today. Realistically, they ain't gotta like go out and say no, I want to go nowhere. They should just go and eat something smaller. But because they know you want to go out to eat, they should take that time and be like, you know what? They want to go out to eat, so let's go out to eat. They ain't got to eat that crazy just because you want to. So that's why I think compromise is 50-50. So if somebody wants something that you don't want, I don't think you should necessarily be talking to them. Because like she said, she wants children in the future. So I mean, if you are not necessarily settling or wanting to be with them, you are literally having to change your future around for somebody. And your desires. So that's not how a relationship's supposed to go. You don't supposed to like get rid of all your goals and aspirations and stuff just to be with somebody. No, it don't go like that. And I know actually, it's funny because people do that. People literally get with people and but because they like this person so much, they would literally get rid of their goals, everything they wanted to do in life, they would change it just to be with that person.
And not in that type of way. Well, okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, but yeah, they would change like they goals, everything they want to do in life, they would literally change it just to appease and to be with this person, and that is not how it's supposed to go. Mind you, some stuff, of course, you got to kind of work around because y'all working with each other. So if he is basically saying he don't want no children because he already got two, that's not fair to you. Him having two, and also him understanding that just because he had a children, he is not a woman, right? A woman wants to go through the birth and stuff. So just like he can't close that off for that woman because you basically closing the door for her to ever go through that stuff a woman goes through in life. So like dang, I heard myself breathe. I'm gonna be big. But anyway, yeah. So do not date somebody that you feel like does not have like wants to get rid of your desires and don't want you to get the stuff in life you want to. That's just not fair. Compromising is 50-50. So that's how I feel. I feel like you should probably just go with somebody else. Sorry.
Well, I'm a woman. So I'm gonna say this. Okay, so the compromising part, I'm not gonna say don't date them because they not compromising with something that you don't. It just depends on what it is, right?
Right.
So, but the kids part is a major thing, right? So if you want to have children, and he doesn't, then I would say yes. Just go ahead and exit left real fast because it's not gonna turn out well. And I think those are those important conversations that you kind of want to have at the beginning before you get too close with someone. So at the beginning, just ask like, okay, I see you already have two children. Do you want more children in the future? And it's either a yes or a no. I'll let a little maybe, or I gotta see. Just kind of play it by ear. No, don't play it by ear. Just watch there. But I would just say a person kind of already knows
what it is,
especially at a certain age. Like, yes, I want to have maybe one more child in the future. No, I don't. So I would say go ahead and exit left if he doesn't want any children. And I understand as a woman. Oh, and let me clarify something real quick because I was pointing at myself. No, I'm not one of those girls that just compromising to keep you. I mean, when I really like somebody, I tend to forget about my own goals and whatever they want. It's like, okay, I'm doing whatever they want to do, not to keep you. It's because I really like you. So that's why I tend to stay single a lot because I will lose myself. I'm a Scorpio and I'm very intense and I love intensely. So I'm learning to control that. But enough of me. I'm getting off subject. But yes. So baby girl, just chunk up the deuces. So
that's it.
I'm gonna find your ass. Let me stop.
But yeah, and I doubt, and I know you probably won't see it, but yeah, that's just like that's fair about it though. Like literally, do not sit there and be like, if you already know you want something, please find somebody that's gonna want it too, or at least acknowledges and cares that you want something. Like it ain't that hard in a
Yeah,
relationship. People make it hard, but it really ain't that hard. Oh, but yeah,
yeah.
enough of that. So we have literally got through the first episode of season 2, right? So
Voila.
as we always do, as we always do, we're gonna give some closing remarks, something to take with you throughout the week. If you're going through something, whatever, maybe get to you. But who you want to go first? You want to go first? You want to go first?
Let's do. See, let's go. No, it's too slow. It's too
Yeah,
slow.
forget
Okay.
it. Forget it. I go first.
Okay. Go.
So for me, I want to say that the single people out there, um, not that I can necessarily all the way relate, but being single is okay. I know, and I know it's kind of hard to hear that when you see you go on social media and see so many couples hugged up and loving, and it's some stuff you want, but I think you should appreciate the single stage, right? You can't necessarily. I say it like this: when you are in a relationship, you're kind of settled in, you're kind of with somebody else. Think about when you're by yourself. I think that's when you really find who you are. Kind of that's when you're in a relationship, you find out, like, I think when you go through relationships, you go through it and then you be like, okay, I ain't like this, I ain't like that. And the little time in the middle, that's when you sit
Yeah.
there and sit with yourself, like, okay, I want this. I don't want that again. I'm going for this next. I'm going to sit, like, really appreciate that single time. I think we go so fast trying to get to the next one. We don't sit there when we by ourselves and be like, okay, I'm at my own little piece, like, let me figure out some stuff for myself so that I can be ready for it. We rush it. I think that rushing and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I think to any single people, just know it's okay to be single. Um, it just, I don't see why people try to make it seem like
Fun.
it's nothing wrong with it. I'm about to say low key, yeah, like you say, it's fun, right? But yeah, it's okay to be single. Don't let social media and just stay off of there. But if you got to be on there, don't let social media and seeing people together make you feel like, oh, I got to do that too. Just know
Mm-hmm.
it'll come for you when it comes for you, but just appreciate the time that you are single. And that's all
Right.
I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
And I'm just gonna piggyback off of what you said. I totally agree. Being single is fun, and I know at a certain point in your life, you may want kids and marriage, and that is fine. Like do that, but in the meantime, date whoever you want to date. Like if that person makes you happy, they're doing the things that they're supposed to do, date them.
Yeah.
Have fun doing it. Don't put so much pressure on it. These expectations for people, yes, we know you have standards, but expectations tend to ruin things
Yes.
especially at the beginning.
Yep.
Just go with the flow. And that's what I'm learning now is just go with the flow. I think you tend to see who people really are. That's
Mm-hmm.
when people start to open up and be like, hey, I don't want any children. And you
Yep.
listen to
Mm-hmm.
that. Or if
Yep.
they say they do want to have kids and you don't want none, you need to exit left too. I'm telling you now.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Because dudes try to trap women too.
Yeah,
But
they do.
but yeah, that's my message. Have fun, do you, and do you.
Get wild. But yeah. So we are at the end. So like we always say, like, comment, subscribe. Just watch. Thank you for just watching. It don't matter
Yes,
what you
thank
do. Just thank
you.
you for watching. You're watching us. That's something to appreciate. So thank you for the watchers. Thank you for the people that has, I guess, followed us from season 1 and you're in season 2 with
Mhm.
us. Thank you. Just continue to watch and do what you do.
Yes, we have
But
more coming.
more
New
coming.
things coming. So just
Hmm.
stay tuned, please.
Yes, please. And we appreciate you. So
Yes.
until next time, bye bye.